Alrighty, hey there guys, it's Kim George here from YourChicGeek.com, and I want to welcome you to a brand spanking new video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite types of books to create, and that is an activity book. But more specifically, what I'm going to show you guys are some hacks that you can use to design your activity book covers. Now you can take this and use these kind of hacks for I think any kind of cover that you want to design, but these are just some of the frameworks that I've seen that have seemed to be the most popular kind of designs and frameworks that people are using when they're designing their covers. And so I wanted to see if I can kind of recreate some of these in Canva, and I'm going to show you guys how I did that. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'd love for you to like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Also, for those of you that are interested in getting started with low content book publishing, and maybe you want a more strategic approach to things instead of just throwing spaghetti at the wall, if that's you, I have a course that is called From Publish to Profit that you can head over to take a look at. And then also I do have some freebies available. One is a swipe file with over 200 types of low content book niches that you can check out. And then there's also a free masterclass that you can check out as well. Okay, so that pretty much wraps all of that good stuff up. Let's go ahead and dive off into the video. Now, again, we're going to be looking at 3 different kinds of designs, and the designs that I saw that seem to be the most popular on Amazon as it relates to designs are as follows. So one is going to be a design where basically you kind of have a block format. And so this is what the block format kind of design looks like, where you have the text and then you kind of have the block here with different little things in it. And then you kind of have the text at the bottom of the design. The second design that I've seen that is really popular is where you basically have a circle in the middle and then you kind of have the items going around that specific circle. And then another one that I saw that was looks like it's pretty easy to recreate is going to be this kind of book right here, where you basically have a scene at the bottom that you can kind of put together, and then you have the big text right here in the middle and at the top that you can use. Now, I stated that this can be used for any kind of book, but I guess I can say this is more for like kids activity books and maybe even some teens, but these probably would be better benefited for kids. I can see that now. So, but let's go ahead and let's take a look at what I was able to come up with in Canva, and then I'm going to show you guys really quickly how I was able to recreate each one of these designs. So let's head over to Canva and let's take a look at what I came up with. All right, so here are the designs that I came up with in Canva. Can you believe it? I think they actually came out okay. But this is the first design right here with the block format. You can see these are the 4 squares that I put in here. And these are the 4 little cute little animals that I put. And this is for, I just kind of threw this from the cuff, guys. But this is a toddler activity book here. This could be anything. It could be a toddler activity book. It could be a kid's activity book, whatever you wanted. But this is basically the framework here. Again, 4 squares with the items in the middle. You have the text at the top, and then you have the text at the bottom. So for the second image that I created, this is the one that has the kind of the circle in the middle, and then the items that are going around the circle. So that is an example of that one. And then the last one I did was kind of a landscape or kind of a scene with the text at the top and then the text at the bottom, or the subtitle at the bottom of the book. So what I'm going to do really quickly, again, is show you guys how I did these. So for the first book, here's what I did. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to duplicate this page. Now, I do want to say that the titles, or not the titles, but the cover designs for these books are in a size 17 by 40, I think it's 17.48 by 11.25. Now, you know, with KDP, this is what this is for. You're going to have your cover, your front cover and your back cover combined. So this is the front side and then this is the back side. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I did to recreate the first design. So for the first design here, we have the text at the top. And so what I did was I basically just went over the text and I grabbed this text here. And then I just put in, you know, my toddler, what does it say? My first toddler coloring book, or my first toddler. I think that's how it goes. So my first toddler. Okay. So I'm going to enlarge this. And this font that I use is called Hit and Run. This is in Canva. I thought this was a pretty cool little font here. It's big, it's bold, and it's perfect for kids. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make this into about a size, I think maybe a size 80. So we're going to do that. All right. So there's that. And then I'm going to decrease the line spacing here just a little bit. Now for the effect that I did for the first font, that effect is right here. So you're going to go to Effects, you're going to go to Splice, and then I'm going to offset this, and then I'm going to change the interior color to yellow. So that's what I did to get that. Now for the second font, I actually took that off right here. So I think I put none. Oh, actually, I think I know what I did. Okay, so I'm going to have to delete this. Okay, and I'm going to bring this down. So this is one font, and then this is the other. So that's what I did to keep that separate. So we'll make that big. I'll leave that at about a 94. And then again, go to Effects, Splice, and then I just took the offset down, and then I came over to the middle and changed that. So that's how I got the font. Now for the grid itself, what I did is I went over into Elements, and you're just going to type in grid. All right. And so what you want to look for is the grid that is a 4x4. So let's take a look and find that really, really quickly. And there, this is it right here. So I'm going to pop this over, and then I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to bring this down. And so I'm going to bring this up. Okay. So now we have our grid here. I'm going to keep everything in line. All right. So now once you get your grid over here, what you want to do, and what I did was I just changed each one of these colors to just some kind of color that has a pop to it. So I'm just going to go over here, and I'm going to just use some of the colors that I use in my brand, but you can just find any kind of color that you want, and you can put that there. So, okay, so I use yellow on the front. So I'll use yellow right here. So this one I use the green. At the bottom, I use the blue, and then here I use a purple. So I don't even know where I got this purple from, but that's a darker purple. So I'll just use this purple here. I think that's what I had. Nope, no, that was a different purple, but oops, nope. So we're just gonna click on this, and I'll just do purple. I'll do pink this time. Okay, so this is fine. All right, so the next thing that you want to do is I found some different little cute graphics to put inside of these squares. Okay, so what I'm going to do is come over to Elements, and then you just want to do graphics or cute animals. I think that's what I searched for, cute baby animals. And so here are the graphics right here. Now, because I'm using Canva, I know that, you know, there are some things kind of going on with these licensing. So you want to make sure that you come up here and use free. So I'm using all free things for this example. So I'm going to go to see all now, and then now we have all of the graphics that we're going to be using. So I have a fox here. I'm just going to use some different animals for the sake of time. You kind of have to be careful with this because if you drag it in too much, it's going to go into the actual grid. And so I want to use that there, and then maybe I can put the frog. I think the frog was at the bottom. So you see how that worked? So you may have to kind of play around with it to get it to do what you need it to do. That's fine. All right, so we'll just make that a little bit bigger. And then we had a little duck, so I don't want the duck, but maybe I can use this little guy here. Now, actually, I'll use the fox. So I'll put the fox here. Just kind of drag this over into this square. And then we'll use the dinosaur, I guess, at the top. I mean, this is just, again, kind of going off the cuff here. All right, so that is how I did this item, or did this square. The last thing that I want to do is I want to put a square or a box around this. So to do that, you want to go back to Lines and Shapes. I'm going to click on this. And now I don't want this shape. I want a square. So what I'm going to do is go up here. Sorry, go right here. Change this to a square. And then we want to drag this square over this. So we want to hover over, and we want to go down. All right, that's it. Now what I want to do is change the inside of this color to clear, and then the exterior border to white. So I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to change this right here to say no color. And then I want to go to border style, and I'm going to change this to this. And then I want to increase the border. So you see that? And then here for the border color, you want to click on this. You can change that to white. And that's pretty much what I did. And then I just added this text, activity book for kids ages 4 through 8. And that's pretty much it. Now, of course, all of this is kind of big. So what you can do, and what I like to do, is I like to group my items together to move everything around. So what you can do is I grouped all of this together. So I'm going to group this together. And then I'm going to hover over all of this, and I'm going to move this until it looks good. And then I can bring this up. Okay. All right. So that is book cover number 1. It's not perfect, but you guys get the idea. Okay, so now we're moving on to activity book design number 2. And this is where you actually have the circle in the middle, you have your text in the middle in large print, and then you have your kind of cute little graphics on the edges of it, and then you have some supporting graphics on the design as well. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and add a page, and this is how I created this design. So I went over here to lines and shapes. I clicked on this. And I'm going to basically make this into kind of an oval. So I'm going to put this in the middle, and then of course I'm going to stretch this out right here. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this from the green color to white. Now you can do any kind of color that you want, but I'm just going to do white for the sake of time. All right. So I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to change this to white. Now what I'm going to do is, as you can see, I'm going to put my text in the middle here. So I'm just going to basically copy, and I'm going to paste my text. So I just do this, and this is using the same font. Okay, you might want to make this just a little bit bigger. Okay, and then we had what, activity book. Okay, so I'm going to just do this, and I'll go ahead and type this in. Okay, activity book. And then it was for kids ages 4 through 8, I think. For kids ages 4 through 8. All right. Now, in this example, you can see that I'm not using the same kind of splice on this one for the effect, because you want this to be more of a plain kind of you want the effect to just be kind of normal, so you can see the font better, right? So I'm just going to use this, and then I'm going to change the color of this blue to the yellow that I've been using. All right, so there's that. And then I added some of the different little cute animals to the perimeter or the edges of this design. And so basically what I did is I just went back to cute animals. I made sure that this is again set for free. And then so I'm going to do see all. And so what you can do is just kind of start grabbing some of these little guys here. And what I would recommend definitely is maybe even checking out and heading over to Creative Fabrica to find some of these little animals and stuff in here that you can use and implement and put them in your designs. Okay, but I'm just going to start kind of putting these guys strategically on this page. So we have a little bunny here. So I'll put him here. And then let's see what else we have here. So maybe I will do, let's see, we have the whale. So maybe I can do the whale here, and I'm just kind of again going off the cuff. So basically I did 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 at all 4 points, and then now you can start adding more into some of the other edges here. So maybe you can add the little fox, who is super adorable. He's really cute. So maybe we can have him here, right here, and then maybe we can add one right here. Okay, let's see how I did him. Oh, so basically I just did, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then, okay. So I can have him here maybe. No, I'll take him out. Let's see here. Okay, so I put him right here, and then I have one right here. Okay, cool. All right, so I'll just do that, and then maybe I'll put the little penguin right here. Okay, all right. So this is kind of how I did this design. All right, and I think this looks kind of cute already. All right, so we have our little guys here. All right, so there we go. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start filling in, so I can make this a little bit bigger. So that looks good. And so now what you can do, and what I did is I went in and I actually added some doodles to the page to kind of fill in the design a little bit. And I'm going to make this just a little bit smaller maybe. Okay, and so yeah, I'm going to start adding in some doodles to kind of fill in some of the empty space on this page. So what you can do is over in Canva is you can come over and you can type in doodles right here. And then again, you want to make sure that this is free. And so I'm going to click see all. And so these are all of the fun little doodles that they had available in here for free. So what you can do is just take some of the doodles that you think can fit for the design, and you can just start kind of adding them strategically throughout the page. So for example, I'm going to add that, which is the little stars. I can add this little chick right here. I think this is fitting. And then you can turn him to white. And then what you can also do is, I think I added this here, the little rainbow here. This is free. All right, so I'm going to add this here. I'm going to change this to white, and then maybe I can duplicate this and I can add this over on the other side of the page, but it's just a little bit smaller. And then maybe I can add one more doodle in here. So maybe this little guy here, this little scribble. Okay. Now this isn't perfect, but I'm just kind of giving you guys some examples of some things that you can try. Okay. All right. So I would definitely go in and kind of, doctor up and, change some things, just add a little bit more flavor to it. Maybe add some more doodles, maybe add some little stars, some dots, things in here to kind of wake up the page a little bit more. But I think just kind of for what we did, I think this actually looks pretty cute. So now we're going to go over to the last design where we're going to do the big text with the scene at the bottom. All right, so next up we have our last kind of design, and this one is with the text at the top, text in the middle, and then the scene that I kind of put together at the bottom. And this was pretty simple, so let's go ahead and let's get into it. So here again, I'm going to go ahead and click to add a page. And now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to text. I'm going to add a heading here. All right, and so we're going to make this a little bit big. So we're going to put this here. And then we have my first. We'll put the text, my first. Then we have toddler. Okay, so we're going to put this here. And then I'm going to group this together by hovering over. And then I'm going to go here to hit and run to change the font. And so again, I'm going to leave the top font. Is the top font? No, so it's the top font is going to have the effect. I'm going to hover over. I'm going to go to effects. I'm going to go to splice, change the offset. Then I'm going to change the middle color to yellow. All right. So next we have activity book. Now I'm just going to go ahead and click copy just for the sake of time to paste this here. And this is what I did. And so now we're going to go on to building the scene at the bottom of this page. Now, to do this, the first thing I had to do is I had to start with kind of putting a floor of sorts at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is go over to elements, and then I'm going to go over to where it says shapes. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to take this from a kind of this shape to a square, and then I'm going to push this towards the bottom. Now, you can tell when you're at the edge of the page because Canva is going to show that line. So I'm just going to basically put this down here. All right. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change this to brown. So I'm going to go in the box and type in brown. And I'm just going to look for a brown color that I think would work. I think this one looks pretty good. You could use this, or even this. But I'm just going to use this brown color right here. Now, the next thing that I did was for the background is I added some bushes to the background behind the bear. So what I went to next was elements, and then I just typed in bushes. All right. So you can see here when you click on see all, these are the bushes that I use. They are free. So I'm just going to pop this over here, and then I'm going to go here. All right. So for the sake of time, I'm just going to keep on pushing. Now, the next thing that I did was I added this camper here. And so what I did was I typed in camper. And this is going to be for any design that you're thinking about. You just want to think about, like, what kind of scene am I creating with this? Is this a camping scene? Is this a summer scene? So you just want to add images that correspond to that. So I'm going to go to flip, and I'm going to add this camper here. All right. And then what I wanted to do next is I want to add this tent. So, and since this is kind of on the camping side, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do tent. Here's the tent that I use, and I just strategically place this over here. And then I brought this down just a little bit right there. And then I added a bear. I'm going to type in bear. And let's see here, camping. I think it was camping. So here he is right here. Here's the bear. He's having a good old funky time. He's out here by himself, roasting his marshmallows, and he's living his life, okay? So there's a little bear that I added. And then last but not least is, I think this was a little bit bigger. Okay, yeah, it was. So I brought this up just a tad bit. And then last but not least is I added a fire. So here it is right here. And to get to that, I just did, let's see, camping fire, I think. Yeah. So camping fire should be able to get you that. And I'm just going to do free. And yeah, here it is right here. This is the one that I added. And that pretty much is it, guys. This is basically what I did. Now for this one, you can tell that the font is a lot bigger. And it's because this is, because of all the space that is kind of empty, you want to kind of make sure that your font is really, really pronounced. So I'm going to make this even bigger. So maybe we can make this like a 120 or like a 104. Yeah, so you want that to be really, really pronounced. It's pretty big, so we want to keep that like that. And then the last thing that I did do to this design was to wake it up just a little bit, is to add some stars. So I just went over here and I typed in stars. And then here are the free stars. So make sure that you have free selected. And then here's the stars that I added. So I just kind of put them up here strategically. And I put them here in the middle a little bit. And then I put, so I'm sorry. So I'm going to drag this down and I'm going to put this here. Okay. All right. All right. Now that's not perfect, but I think that looks pretty cute. So these are our 3 designs, guys. These are the designs that I created in a matter of under 20-something minutes with Canva. And these are for activity books. These can be for kids. I think they definitely will work for kids. But I just wanted to show you, the frameworks that I've seen that seem to work the most. And some of the things that you can do as far as going and creating your own activity book designs using Canva and just some of the graphics that are available there. But I would recommend heading over to Creative Fabrica, getting graphics from there, and then just trying out these designs and letting me know what you think about them. But thanks so much for watching today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.